TJ, the Real Deal, coming at you live. It is Thursday, March the 27th, 10:46 a.m. Central Time, Texas time. We got a different episode today. We're going to talk about something we don't generally talk about on this channel. Because my name is TJ, the Real Deal. I sell puts, I sell calls for a living, collect that premium, roll and makes dollars and cents. Buy the timely leaps. That's what I do. That's what I do. But I'm on the Tasty Trade platform now, and you're able to, dance around naked, if you will. You can sell naked calls and naked puts. Is it advised? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I've done it. I've sold a lot, actually, offline. I've sold a lot of naked calls offline. But now I'm ready to talk about it because it works for me in certain circumstances. I have a plan in place. I'm going to walk y'all through it. But I want to throw disclaimers out there. This is my journey. This is not your journey. I'm in a different financial situation than most. So this strategy can be extremely capital intensive. It technically has unlimited risk, as unlimited as unlimited can be. But that's not really true if you have the finances and you have a plan in place to mitigate against those risks. So let's talk about it. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to pull up what is a naked call. What is a naked call option? So that we can essentially all be on the same sheet of music. Maybe some of you guys are new to this whole thing, and so on and so forth. So according to Google AI over here, a naked call option is a strategy where an investor writes a call option without owning the underlying asset, meaning they are obligated to deliver the shares if the option is exercised, exposing them to potentially unlimited losses if the stock price rises. Here's a detailed explanation. A naked call is an option strategy where the investor sells. Okay, we got all that. How it works: the seller writes, the writer of the naked call receives a premium from the buyer of the call option. Their goal is to profit from the premium if the stock remains below the strike price of the option at expiration and the option expires worthless. Let's talk about the potential risks. The risk of a naked call is unlimited, as the seller is obligated to deliver the underlying asset at the strike price, regardless of how high the stock price rises. Potential rewards. The potential profit is limited to the premium received from selling the call option. Comparison to covered calls. A covered call involves selling a call option while owning the underlying asset, which limits the seller's risk and potential losses. Why is it considered naked? The term naked refers to the fact that the seller does not have the underlying asset to cover the option of its exercise, making them exposed to potentially unlimited losses. Example: if you say a naked call on a stock at 100 and the stock price rises to 150, you're obligated to buy the stock at 100 and sell it at 150, resulting in a loss of $50 per share. So that's what's going on in a nutshell. So let's unpack all of that. Let's talk about the gimmies and the gotchas, if you will. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit present again. Stop the screen, present, share the screen, and then I'm going to go to the entire screen over here, and you guys see the kaleidoscope. So there's the kaleidoscope action, and now we're going to talk about what I've done. What you do. So let's talk about it. So we're talking about Nio. So I've got cash secure puts at $450 and $4, a bunch of them, 5,000 contracts total. So I sold 3,500 naked calls at $5 for the same expiration date. Why? Because two things mathematically cannot be true in this scenario. Nio cannot be at $4 and $5 simultaneously. So mathematically, it's an absolute certainty. It is a certainty mathematically that I have to win one side of that trade. So if the calls are threatened, that means that I'm off the hook on the $4 and $4.50 cash secured puts. So all of that premium goes from red to green. If the calls are not threatened, then that means that I'm still on the hook for what I was already on the hook on, which is the $4 cash secured puts and $4.50 cash secured puts. So the question now becomes, why? Why would you do it? Well, it's because I fully intend to take ownership of these shares if I need to. At the very minimum, the 450s. I want to get assigned on the 450s. On the fours, we'll see. Maybe only on half. I'll roll the other half. We'll see, because it would be a heavy weight in the portfolio, probably in the 20% range or so. I got to do the math, right? So there's that aspect as well. And now we're talking about Nio, more dilution, all the shit, right? We all probably by now already heard the headlines. So my thing is I wanted to use this premium on the 3,500 share, or the 3,500 contracts, 350,000 shares. I wanted to use this premium. It's not a lot. It's $5, 5 cents or $5 a contract, to essentially lower my adjusted cost basis on the 350,000 shares if I were to go ahead and take assignment. That's the whole reasoning behind it. And if the calls get threatened, then that means that I'm off the hook on the $4 cash secured puts anyway. And I have a plan in place. If it's the week of expiration and Nio is trading at $4.51, I will just buy the shares of Nio and take all the pressure off of the situation, because then that means that I will have won the $4 and $4.50 cash secured puts, and then I'll just take ownership of the covered call. I'll take ownership of the shares, and then I'm just writing it out at that point. I'm writing it out, and I want Nio to go up at that point to $5. Have the shares called away. If not, rinse and repeat, and then I'll probably just turn around and sell covered calls right at $4.50 and just keep doing it over and over. And I'll put cash secured puts on again. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I just know mathematically, it is just an absolute fact, and nobody can argue. It doesn't matter how smart you are. The numbers don't lie. People do. Nio cannot be trading at $4 or $4.50 or $5 simultaneously on expiration Friday, April the 17th. I actually thought about selling 1,500 calls at $4.50, but I'm just not interested. I want that one in the bag still. You know what I mean? Ideally, what I would like to do is the sweet spot. It's about between $4.60 and $4.80. That's kind of like the sweet spot that I'm going for here. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Nio is going to hover between like $3.80 and $4.20. But the perfect sweet spot in this scenario would be like $4.60, $4.80, even $4.90. And then I just win all sides of the trade, get back into cash, live to fight another day, probably go somewhere else. Or if the getting still on Nio, well, then I stay with Nio. We'll see what happens. So that's one. The other one is a little bit easier to deal with, and that is SOXL. I've got an agreement to buy 60,000 shares of SOXL at 15, 16, and 17. So I said, well, if I'm willing to buy them over here at 15, 16, and 17, I'm going to be willing to sell them at 23 for the same expiration date. You guessed it, 4/17. So collected money on that, already up on those, because SOXL is going this way. Why? Because there's pressure on the semis, right? So I'm like, I feel like there's a real good chance that I could get assigned on the 17s, probably even the 16s. So I want to start bringing some money through the door. That way I have a nice adjusted cost basis. And this is just premium play. I'm not going for capital appreciation yet. And I just want to get as much premium as I can through the door. And I want to position myself to take assignment on the 17th. If push comes to shove, take assignment on the 16s. I don't think the 15s are even in play. So there's not even worth talking about it. That was just a cash grab. I think it's going to all work out. So again, two things cannot be true. In this situation, mathematically, SOXL cannot be trading at 15, 16, or 17 and $23 simultaneously on expiration Friday, April the 17th. So, what is the plan with SOXL? If it's expiration week and SOXL is trading north of 20, I'm just going to buy the shares. I'm just going to buy the shares. I'm going to buy 60,000 shares of SOXL at 20. I'll take all the cash secured puts off, the 15s, the 16s, and the 17s, because those would all be at about 90% plus. I'll take ownership of the shares at 20 and let it all play out. And then I'll just keep doing it over and over again. On the next round, I'll be able to lower the strike price from 23 to like 21 or possibly even 20, because I don't mind buying them for 20 and selling them for 20 and just collecting a shitload of premium and get right back into cash. So that's the game. So why is it okay for me to sell naked calls and I don't recommend it for you? It's real simple, because I have the money to buy the shares and I know exactly when I want to buy the shares and I'm able to buy the shares financially. If you do not have the money to make good on the shares and you're not willing to do it, in other words, you don't really want to own the shares, I don't recommend doing it. So what I want to do is I'm going to open it up today. I got a few minutes here, guys. I got a FaceTime, I think at 11:30. So I got a little bit of time here today. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste this stream right here for anybody that would like to join, and we can turn it into we can turn it in to a mini wheelers, if you will. So what if it goes to 10? It's real simple. I would have already bought the shares, guys. I already said at 450, I'm pulling the trigger and buying all the shares and taking all the pressure off of the naked call and turning it into a covered call, because I'm comfortable owning Nio. You guys get it? Are y'all starting to get it? I'm comfortable owning the damn share, so it doesn't matter. I'll sell the calls right now, and I know that right now it's trading at 399. Why not just buy them now? Because I don't have to buy them right now. I got cash secured puts at $4. I got cash secured puts at 450. Hell, these cover calls at some point they're going to be uncovered. They're going to be covered. These uncovered calls are going to be covered because I've already got contracts in place to own the shares. I've already got money to go buy the damn shares if I need to. If I wake up tomorrow and Nio is trading at 450, 451, which isn't likely to happen, but let's just say that it did, I'm in a position financially to buy the damn shares and take pressure off of the position. But I don't think that I would do that. There really isn't a reason mathematically for me to buy these shares unless Nio is at like 470 or 480 at that point, if that makes sense. Anyway, BR Baller, what's going on, my man? Thanks for participating last night. How are you today?
Of course, I'm doing good, TJ. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I woke up this morning and I was going to do this yesterday, but I just felt like the episode was already a lot on wheelers, so I didn't want to introduce the element of naked calls to the channel just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks because I would have gotten more money on my contracts yesterday. They were paying $9. Today I only got $5, but it wasn't even about that. It's just showing y'all that because of my bankroll, because of my mindset, because of my willingness to own these shares anyway, what's the real gimme here? Or what's the real gotcha for me here? If Nio gaps up to like 6 or 7 overnight and I don't have a chance to buy the shares, right?
Yeah.
So what am I doing? With Tasty, I'm going to be putting a limit order to buy the shares. You follow me? And hoping it triggers, because you know these big moves happen after hours. It's always that way, right?
Of course, that's true.
It's because the dark pool and all that stuff hits. Anyway, what do you have to add, my man? Because this strategy is not for everybody. I'm in a different situation. I want to own some Nio shares. So now it's just like I'm ready to collect rent on shares that I don't own yet because I know that I will own them. So I'm selling naked calls with the intention to own these shares, right?
Huh.
I don't recommend selling naked calls if you're just premium cash grabbing. Like it is, I just feel like it's an absolute recipe for disaster. So this isn't anything that I'm going to feature on the channel a lot. I'm not going to talk about it a lot on the channel because I don't want people following me into this shit.
Yeah.
But again, this is just what I do, right? It's fully transparent.
100%. No, I respect it. I think it's smart. I mean, you believe in Neo long term? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I
okay.
think Neo's going to be gap profitable when they get to their millionth car. Now, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Want a plane ride with Neo? And
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, as the pilot, there's turbulence up ahead, right? We
Yeah.
just experienced some of it today, but
Yeah.
it ain't our first rodeo with Neo, right? We
Yeah.
know that they're burning through cash like my wife had at freaking the mall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is just what they do. I feel like they're spread too thin. They're trying to do too much. I'm really hoping they'll figure it out by the millionth car. If not, then my investment thesis is absolutely shot. It's broken. I feel like there's no reason why they shouldn't figure out how to have a bottom line that's
Yeah.
positive by the millionth car. And they got about 300,000 cars to get there.
No, it makes sense. So I'm looking at it right now.
But just to clarify,
Mhm.
300,000 cars is only 1 year for Neo, right? Because they
Yeah.
did like 230 or something last year.
Yeah.
They could do about 300 this year. So it's kind of shit or get out the pot time. And it's about year 10 for the company, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they've been at it for a while, dude. It's time. Like it's time. They got to figure it out.
And I agree with what you said, I think, a few days ago. I mean, Rivian doesn't even compare, or Lucid, or none of them. I mean, it's Tesla, BYD, and then I guess Neo.
Yeah, there's other companies. There's one called Geely. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Uh-huh.
Geely, something like that.
I think I've heard of it. I'm not too familiar with it.
They show a lot of cars. Like Neo's like number 5, like in cars in China. Like you have BYD's number 1, Tesla's number 2. And there's 2 other companies or one other company that I haven't heard of before. And then there's Geely that's right on top of Neo. Neo's like 5 or 6.
Okay. No, but I mean, anything, it's so cheap under $4 right now. I mean, it's crazy to even think that right now.
Well, it's cheap from a share price perspective, but
Yeah,
it's
true.
cheap from a valuation perspective. You're like the 19-year-old that values stocks better than most, right? Because I've seen your work. I've seen you talk about now NVO, and before that, you were all on the valuation of American Eagle. So
Yeah.
I have an intrinsic value calculation model where I plug information in, and American Eagle was undervalued.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you do to use your analysis or whatever you do, but you were spot on that one. It's a little more argumentative on NVO, in my opinion, because biopharmaceuticals, that is so subjective, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot dicier, whereas with American Eagle, it's pretty cut and dry. They're selling a lot of clothes. They're not getting credit for it, right?
Yeah.
With this one, it's tougher. You know, it's absolutely tougher.
I'll just tell you what I look at, like on the bottom line. I look at price to sales ratio,
Right.
price to earnings, and price to book. And if it's trading below all the historical averages,
Right.
I'll go long. And if it's trading above all of the historical averages, that means that too much is already priced in, and then I'll just short. So I did two. This is like the third time I'm using this strategy. I did it on Comcast. It worked out on the upside, and then American Eagle to the upside, and then now NVO, and then also price. Do you know the PEG ratio? So price to earnings growth ratio.
Of course, I have to deal with that with the growth companies.
Yeah. Of course, anything under 1, if you look it up, anything under 1 is proven to be undervalued. Right now, NVO is at 0.75. So, like, my thesis is like any bad news.
What's NVO's CAGR though? Like, how fast are they growing?
Right now it's stagnant.
Like the top line's not growing.
I mean, their forecast is not bad. Like, here, let me just give you the number, because right now they're very stagnant. Because with HIMSS, there's like a lot of competition right now. But their forecast for the next quarter.
I want visual stocks. Hold on.
Let me see. 89 on May 7th. 0.89. Their last quarter was estimate 0.83. Yeah, so it's going up stagnant, very slow, their earnings now. They were growing much faster before.
Let me see.
But
so what caused that? Like, what caused the decline? Because there's
lawsuits.
There's always a reason, huh?
Yeah, lawsuits.
So what happened? Was it like the GLPs? Was it like
The
what?
research, they had a lawsuit. Um, let me pull it up because there was a lawsuit. Somebody sued them for like a case study on their on a weight test or something. That was a big thing that dropped it. And then I think, I'm not sure. AI also said it's tariff concerns. A little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, I did look at the industry average ratios, and it is trading above some of the industry, but industry doesn't mean everything. What matters the most if it's trading compared to how it usually trades, because usually history over time will tell you, what it usually trades at. And like my thesis is like all the bad news is already priced in. Like I added today, I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter. I
No.
added 6,000 today dollars. So now I have 20 contracts. I
Yeah.
lowered my cost a little bit, but I like it. And I don't know, it just feels good,
Yeah. No, I hear you. So according to this visual stocks right here, like the revenue is going up and to the right.
Yeah,
Like, and then there's like a substantial spike in revenue there. I don't know if that's GLP-1 or what. I know this company's into GLP-1 right now, and they're into diabetes, right?
yeah,
That's the thing. And they do have net income, which is
yeah,
good.
yeah,
So it means that this company has a bottom line. They make money, right?
yeah,
Their free cash flow is gone in the toilet here recently, negative free cash
yeah,
flow. So I don't know what's going on there.
yeah. It doesn't look good there.
I'll tell you what does look good, just real quick. This is just something that I look at is their shares outstanding is going down, which is what we want. It's not like the Bitcoin miners, right? Where it's like
You're diluting.
the share dilution is going up and to the right, and we want the price to go up and to the right. But the only thing going up and to the right is the share count, right?
So the share count going down, that means they're buying back, correct? They're the ones.
Theoretically, yeah,
Okay.
theoretically.
Okay.
So you got bonds, cash, and debt. I do see the debt climbing as
I
well.
know. I know.
So that's a real good exercise, guys. So companies need to raise cash, and there's really only two ways to do it. One is to dilute or to take on debt. Based on this, real quick, not knowing much about the company, it seems like this company has chosen the debt route.
Yeah.
And then like it's like Riot diluted, like the Bitcoin miner diluted.
Yeah.
They didn't take on any debt, so their balance sheet looked pristine, but it was tough as an investor, right?
Yeah.
Other companies took on debt. Like Marathon was like, well, we'll take on debt because the capital's so cheap. So
Uh-huh.
let's not dilute as much. But then they all ended up doing dilution anyway. But then like Marathon like also had some debt, and they had like do some restructuring and stuff. So it just got a little bit dicier. And that's why I got more excited about Riot.
Yeah.
So I don't know enough about this company, but then I see the operating expenses. You have S&M, G&A, and then you got R&D, right? Research
Yeah.
and development, general and administration, etc. Right?
Uh-huh.
So they got a lot going on. It's a big company, dude. 76,000 people. That's a lot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
bio. I call it biopharma, whatever. Like big pharma, right? It's a
Yeah.
biotech company. The share short is 12.6, so the short interest is 0.28%. So forget about a short squeeze. That can't happen mathematically. Not right now.
Yeah.
Institutions, I always look at that. It's like, is it a retail stock or is it an institution stock? And here it looks just on the surface, it looks to be a retail heavy stock at 89%.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? But what is your name? BR. What the heck is that? BR
Yeah.
baller.
My first name is Budwy.
Is
And then
what?
is Budwy.
Budwy?
Yeah, people call me Bud, but
Okay, Bud. Hey, Bud.
yeah.
I
And
thought I
then,
heard, and don't cancel me for this. I thought I heard buckwheat.
no, you're good, you're good. And then my last name,
I was like, wait, what?
yeah, it's Budwi, and then my last name's Rafai, so it's my initials, and then I like to play basketball. So then that was my YouTube username first, and then I just put it on everything, and then now people call me Baller.
Yeah.
But I see.
That's really get handy advice from Mr. Premium of the option.
Happy
And make sure you also have the bankroll, dude. You gotta be willing. Like, you don't want to be fighting these things like rolling. Oh, it's just gonna roll and roll like I'm the master roller and all that stuff. Like, you don't want to be fighting that shit. Like, you're
no,
gonna have to take your medication and buy those shares on the naked calls. But go ahead, back, bud. What were you
yeah,
saying?
of course. No, but it's crazy, TJ. I saw you first on Twitter. You know how you post those famous, like those viral Robinhood screenshots?
Sure.
That's how I first found you, like in September last year. And then ever since, I just like I fell in love with your content. I just started watching you. And then because you're transparent, a
Yeah.
lot of people in this industry, they just try to sell you stuff. They're not really, they don't really, they're probably liars, honestly, in Wall Street. It's not really a
Yeah,
safe industry.
I don't know. I just wanted to come correct with it because I mean, it's just I'm just documenting my journey, right? Like most of the time, people are just like seeing me work, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like this is what I do for a living. Uh, it's
No,
interesting, man. They got a lot going on here, dude. I mean, you got Ozempic, you got insulin, which is for diabetes,
yeah,
obesity care, rare disease, Ribe. I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't know what that is either. Another diabetes. I didn't know there was a form.
yeah. I don't know what that is either.
It's like type 1 and type 2 diabetes, I guess. One is insulin dependent, and one can you can actually handle it with medication.
Yeah,
That's not insulin because it's like your pancreas can potentially still producing insulin in some cases. It's just sporadic, so they try to like level it off. And then the other cases, the pancreas just isn't working. It's not that it's not working; it's just not reliable. So they inject you with insulin.
and also I don't know if you saw they have robust revenue with a growth rate of like 22% and net income at a record high, almost 4 billion. Gross profit margin says it's impressive at 85%. AI said indicating efficient profitability. Now, I don't know if you saw my post. I posted also today that NVO is suing the SEC for they filed a complaint. Here, let me just read what I saw. They filed a complaint with the SEC regarding excessive shorting. So it's funny, we were just talking about a short squeeze. They said there's market manipulation. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hope they win it. I hope they win that lawsuit.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. Hard to say, but
Yeah.
sorry, I'm getting through some emails.
No, you're good.
One second.
Take your time.
No, I'm just waiting to hear back from Jason Les to see when we're gonna
I'm gonna watch that.
get him on the channel.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm looking at things that I like just real quick. Again, this is just like real amateur hour stuff. Like if I got serious about this company, the first thing I gotta do is I gotta be willing to listen to the last 4 earnings reports.
Yeah.
That's where it starts for me. So it's real hard for me to get excited about a company because I'm like, shit, man. Well, how long were these earnings calls, right? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but what I do like is the price to sales ratio in the last 12 months is going down. So what you want to see, right? It's getting cheaper, if you will.
100%.
The price to earnings is getting cheaper, and the price to free cash flow as well. Then you got the EV sales ratio, all of it's going down. But then you got here revenue to employee. This is per employee. This is a metric that's important to a lot of people. Is like, are they efficient with their workforce?
Yeah.
And it seems like the revenue per employee is growing up and to the right. So
100%.
I don't really see anything that's alarming there. And then here, Visual Stocks has estimates. So you got revenue estimates. It appears that they're going up and to the right. They have it through Q3 of 24. So this doesn't feel very updated, what I mean? So I don't know what's going on there. And then activity, are the insiders, buying or selling? There's nothing there to speak of. The institutional ownership is pretty steady, climbing ever so slightly, but climbing.
Yeah.
And then the short interest has been on the decline. So that's what's going on there.
Is that what? Oh, sorry.
And I'm saying sentiment. I don't know why it's locked. I don't know why it's locked because I pay for this. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is this Alpha Spread or what website?
This is Visual Stocks.
Okay, how much is that a month? Is that an app or just also a website?
It's a website. Profile and settings. I'm just trying to figure out like what's going on here. Like,
Oh, they have, okay, that makes sense. They have subscriptions. That's how it is.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a subscription based. I don't know which one I pay for. Because maybe I'm not over here. I'm not sure which one I am. I think I'm on this pro plan.
Uh-huh. Okay, that makes sense.
And then I guess to get like other things, you got to go to
You
a
gotta pay
different.
more. Yeah, they always do that. They always try to,
Fucking trying to get me for more money, bro.
no,
Jesus.
it's always like that, bro.
Man. So anyway, so there's that.
But from what you see, like if you had to, I know you didn't look at it much, but like, is in your opinion, is it just you have no opinion, or buy, sell, or hold, or you just have no opinion?
I would say do more homework. Like
Yeah,
for me, like do more homework. I will tell you, just the first thing I look at is the market, right?
yeah,
What market are they in? Like, is
yeah,
that something that's hot or not?
yeah,
And pun intended, it's a huge market, right? They're in the obesity market.
yeah.
This particular country is probably the most overweight country in the entire world.
Facts.
Uh, I'm overweight, and I'm like diligently trying to do something about it. There's
Yeah,
a lot of people that are not. There's
yeah,
a lot of people that are like, fuck it, I'm fat and I'm happy, right?
yeah.
And I'm like, well, I want to go from fat and happy to fit and happier. So,
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
but it's just because my health is important. What are you
Yeah,
gonna do? You're gonna have all this money in the world and go have a
and then
freaking heart attack, and then some of you guys over there bang your wife. I'm not interested in that life, right? Like in my mind. So
yeah,
I'm like, no, I want to be fit. I want to be happier.
yeah, 100%.
Because I did fat and happy. Done it now for probably like 2 or 3 years that I've been like more overweight than I should be.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm like, okay, it was fun. Eating a lot of shit was fun. But
Yeah,
now that I'm back into working out, I'm, always drinking freaking waters and shit. I'm
that's
just
what it's
into,
about.
I'm into it, dude. I like it. Like
100%.
I like the way that I feel. And it's just a matter of time that you start liking the way that you look.
100%.
Uh, but I've also decided that I'm not doing GLP-1.
Yeah,
And let's get real personal with you guys. The reason that I stopped doing the shots was two things. One, I was getting like really dizzy spells, like a lot of dizzy spells. And then my mental health was deteriorating.
uh-huh.
Like I started having a lot of negative thoughts. Like I'm talking about like suicidal thoughts.
No way.
And the only thing that had changed was that I started taking those fucking drugs.
Yeah,
So I went from someone that was like super fucking happy, making all the money in the world, fucking hot banging wife, just sometimes laying in my fucking bed. And I'm like, why am I living? Like, what? Like, maybe my daughter was onto something. I lost a daughter to suicide.
uh-huh. I saw that. Yeah, I saw when you talked about it.
So I'm like laying in bed a couple of times and I'm contemplating my life. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I started taking an inventory of everything new in my life. Love my wife, love my life, love my career. So I don't have any of those issues.
100%.
The ends are getting met like a motherfucker. Don't have money issues. You follow me?
Yeah, for sure.
So then I started researching GLP-1 and side effects. And bro, there's a lot of people that have like suicidal ideation when they're on this fucking product.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Dude, I ain't going down that road. I ain't going down that road. Not fucking interested. I'll get my ass in that garage gym. So I went fucking nuts. I went ham on Power Tech. I'm like the poster child for Power Tech now. And I bought all of that shit for the garage. And I go, that's my GLP-1. Get your ass to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, get your ass to work, put down the fork. It's all about calories in versus calories out. Nothing's more precious than your life. You got to love thyself, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's what it's about.
And this thing was altering my brain, dude. It was altering the way that I perceived my life. And it was like taking the value that I had on my life. And I go, no way, that shot's never going into my fucking body again. That was me. So for those reasons, I'm out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
because I don't like what these companies are promoting. I think that they're trying to make it sound like you can go to aisle 5 at fucking Walmart and go get fit. It doesn't work that way.
No,
Fitness is earned. Fitness is earned. You know, it takes a lot of effort to get fat, believe it or not. Because sometimes you're eating out of boredom, you're eating out of habit, you're eating because you know you say you're hungry and all of that stuff. But it's like it takes effort. It takes effort to keep eating and eating and eating and not doing shit. It takes effort. And it just takes just as much effort to get fit. So I was just like, dude, I'm gonna go put in the work and I'm gonna earn this body. I'm gonna earn this mental clarity. I'm gonna earn the physical. I'm gonna earn the mental. I'm gonna earn the spiritual, the emotional, the psychological, all of it. And it isn't gonna happen with some miracle fucking little drug in a little shot. I just feel like if we do some studies 3 to 5 years from now, there's probably going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people that take their lives because of these fucking drugs. It's probably going to be out there with like the stupid COVID vaccine or something like that. So I was just like, no, dude, it's too near and dear to me because I lost a daughter to suicide. And when I was laying in that bed thinking about doing stupid shit to myself like 7-8 months ago, I started buying shit for the gym. You follow me?
Yeah, I saw the gym, by the way. It looks good.
It's just like, dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I talked to my wife about it. I was like, hey, baby, you know, she was like, you look off. Like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I had a dream about my daughter. And it's how it started, right? I was like talking to my daughter in my sleep and shit. It was like so surreal, dude. It was crazy.
It felt real.
It was, dude. I was like reaching out to touch her. So my wife woke up because I'm like squirming on the bed and trying to like grab my daughter.
Yeah.
And then, you know, afterwards, I'm just like laying in bed, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a sign that my daughter needs me over there with her and all this crazy shit, dude. Like, I mean, I'm talking about this. We're off the fucking chain right now. Sorry about that, guys. No, we're on a different tangent, but we got into why I'm not excited about the NBO or any of these other hymns for that matter either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like these drugs are the fucking devil's work.
They are.
I think that there needs to be go promote fucking go on a walk. You know what I mean? Go promote eating some fucking vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like go promote that kind of stuff. Go promote that kind of shit. Is a quick where I call it the microwave society syndrome, bro. Everything we want it fast, dude. You want a baked potato? I can get it for 3-4 minutes in the microwave, dude. When I was a kid, we wanted baked potatoes. My mom had to put that shit in a boiling pot or in an oven. It took like half an hour, 45 minutes. Now you can have the baked potato in 3 or 4 minutes. They nuke it in the microwave, and you're off and running. I mean, how healthy can that be for you?
Literally, bro.
So I just feel like we suffer from this microwave society syndrome, dude.
100%.
Like everything we wanted and we want it now. Well, you know what, dude? It took me 46 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah, 100%.
And I let myself go a lot whenever my daughter passed because I just had a real hard time finding a reason to keep going.
Yeah, like a purpose.
But now I have that reason, you know, I have my wife, my son, my parents, you know, still, thankfully, my mom's still holding on by a thread. It's really awesome to see her fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, have an amazing career, you know, have an amazing extended family. You know, I married into an amazing family. Like they received me with open arms and stuff. So I have a lot going on, right? Like for me.
100%.
I'm like, dude, that shit was altering my brain, dude. And I was getting like really, really moody, snapping at the dog, snapped at my wife a couple of times. And she was like, that ain't you. Like, I don't even recognize you. What's going on? So we just started doing the math. It was the shot. Been off the shot now for a while. But then we weren't convinced. So let me get back on the shot again. Got back on the shot. All the moodiness came back and everything. So for sure. This is just one person, right? I'm not saying you don't go do it. Maybe everybody's brains are different. Everybody's bodies are different. You follow me? It's kind of like don't go sell naked calls, right? You're not me. That kind
Yeah,
of
of course. Everyone has their own path.
yeah. All I'm saying is that shit ain't for me, and I don't want to promote.
Bro, you know what's so crazy? I like laugh thinking about the COVID vaccine because I got it. It was the dumbest. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So it's like I can't. Every time I think of a shot, I laugh because I don't know if you did. You take it, the COVID vaccine?
When I take that, I got COVID. Like I got COVID early on in the program. Uh, did and then afterwards, like it was I don't know, like 7 8 months later, the shot was out, and my doctor was like, "Hey, kind of recommend you getting the shot." Bro, I got sicker on the damn shot than I did than I did when I had COVID. And then there was the booster that came out, and my wife's a vaxxer, bro. Like, do you see CNN and it's like the gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right? So she's like, you need to go get the booster or whatever the hell it's
Booster
called.
Part 5, yeah.
And there I go to go get a booster, bro. And I'm in bed for like a week and I'm pissed off at my wife, dude. And I'm like, after this, baby, I don't ever want to hear about another fucking shot, okay?
Bro, TJ, I fainted.
And she can't stop apologizing for making me take the booster.
TJ, I fainted. I took it. I swear to God, I fainted in the bathroom.
Bro, this shit was crazy, yo.
Evil, bro. It's evil. It's like so. I don't trust anything anymore. Even COVID seemed fake. Everybody's like, there's so many conspiracies about it now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, that's my experience with GLP-1. It was awesome. I lost like 40 pounds. 100%. That part was good, right?
Yeah.
So I looked pretty decent for the wedding because I did it for the wedding.
Yeah.
This was in 2020. I started the journey in 2022, got married April of 2023. And then shortly after we got married, like in May or June, I was already like, I was like really snapping at my wife and stuff. I was like extremely moody. And then so we made a decision as a family to get me off the shot. And then I got back on it again. And sure enough, I got real moody again, dude. I got moody again. And I was like, this ain't good, dude. This ain't good. So I got off of it. And I still have some in the fridge. It's just there, just as a nice little reminder of what not to do. And then I walk, 10 steps. I'm in the gym. And all I got to do is get that first rep in, bro. Once I'm in there, I'm good. You know what I mean? The hardest part is just walking to the garage.
They say it's like just putting on your shoes. But once you're there, it's easy from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and TJ,
but anyway, man, well, good luck with the NVO thing, my man. It's just, it's definitely not an investment for me. It's almost like just like investing with Disney. I'm just not interested in that kind of stuff.
No, 100%. It's like the industry. Like I
have a love-hate relationship with Pfizer because it's so easy to make money with Pfizer at these levels for me.
Yeah, I remember seeing you post a trade about it.
I just freaking dude, I have such a disdain for Pfizer. And I think that's the beauty of the market, guys, is you can invest in things that you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And there's other people that are more even keel emotionally than I am, shall I say. And they don't give a shit. If they can make money with it, they don't care what it is. We had the guy like also my mom or whatever, Sergio. Like there's that attitude in the market, and that's okay too. I'm not like I want to align with the investments, right? Like the reason that I like SoFi so much, more than anything, was not just because Anthony noticed their silly tagline, like "Get your money right."
Yeah, and you understand the fundamentals in the company.
It's just like I wanted to get my money right, and I felt like if my money had been right, when my daughter was here and she needed me, I wouldn't have had to work so much in the oil field. So I might have been able to parent her more while she was going through all her shit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I needed to get my money right. So I was like, baby, I can't. She wanted to live with us. And I was like, baby, I'm not in this situation. Baby, that I work, 50, 60, 70% of the time I'm away from home. So who's going to take you to school? She was only 14. And so, so those are the things that ate at me for a while. And then I stumbled upon SoFi, and I had been saying I'm going to get my money right in the oil field for a while. And then, they had that little tagline, get your money right. And I'm like, I'm going to make millions of dollars with that company.
And you did.
And then on top of that, it was also another thing that I don't talk about much is my wife and I were looking for companies that had been started out of Stanford because she's a Stanford grad.
Uh-huh.
And SoFi was one of those companies that started out of a Stanford dorm room. So it was just, it's just all those things. We're all running our own race. We all invest for different reasons, right? Like you buy a stock for only one reason, ultimately, is you think it's going up to the right. But whenever you take an investment seriously and you're trying to go the whole way with it, there's got to be other things that solidify your investment thesis, right?
Yeah, you want to like it. You want to understand it. I get you. I get what you mean. Like NVO, I'm gonna be honest. I hate that industry. I think it's evil. But I saw it. I liked it more than American. I liked it more than Eagle, so I'm just like, I'm gonna get in, but I don't support any of that. I think it's poison. I think stay off that, bro. Just stay in the gym. That's what I do, bro. If anytime you feel bad, just go to the gym, do push-ups. That's what I do. That's it. You don't need any of that. Don't let them brainwash you because
there was a guy. Is it Tate? Is that the guys? There are two brothers named Tate.
Andrew and Tristan Tate from Romania.
Okay, yeah, like the one on was bald, right? He was like a kickboxer or something like that.
Yes,
very outspoken, got a huge following. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if it was him. Or a guy named David Goggins. The dude that runs like hundreds of miles and all that shit, right? All crazy.
Yeah.
Get you some, right? The guy that says get you some or something like that. Yeah. Stay hard. He says stay hard. That's
every sentence.
Stay hard, right? But he said, one of these guys said it, okay? So y'all can help me out in the chat. But he said, I've never met anybody depressed with a six-pack.
It's true.
and I'm sure there's people, because, they're in the gym, they have the body dysmorphia and all that stuff. So they're fighting their own demons, right? And then you see these bodybuilders that a lot of them die at young ages, but they're also putting a shitload of crap.
Steroids. Yeah.
But anyway, I was just like this. I started going back on my life, and I'm like, dude, the times that I've looked the best, I felt the best, and not just, and the feeling goes real deep, because it's like, dude, you couldn't wait when it was beach day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I had a 7-pack. I never had quite the 8-pack. There was always one little ad that never wanted to participate. Whenever I was younger, bro, it was like a genetic defect. I was just like, this is crazy, yo.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm down over 20 pounds since the start of this year, doing it all naturally now, counting the calories, the macros, all the stuff. And I'm starting to see signs of life. You follow me?
Yeah, 100%.
And not just that, I did the workouts. I did one yesterday. I'm going to do another one today. I don't dread the workout anymore. I'm looking forward to it, because it's going to kick my ass, all that stuff. It's kind of difficult because I'm doing cardio components as well. And nobody looks forward to that shit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
The weights, that's fun. That's fun. But, freaking out, I got to go row for 20 minutes today. I got to do the bike for 10. And then I'll reward myself with a couple of little revolutions on my, I have 8 stations or so that I do, 8 to 10 stations in my machine. And that's my reward, because I enjoy doing that. Not really looking forward to the rower or the bike.
100%.
But anyway,
you're always gonna feel better after the end of the workout. Going into it, you can feel weird, whatever, bad mood, but after, I swear it's the same, because I always try to avoid it, and then I end up feeling better after. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. That's the thing. But anyway, just wanted to come on and share with you guys that I am selling naked calls. I have sold naked calls. I'm going to keep you guys up to speed, but I do have a plan in place. Nio goes over 450. We're going to have a real serious discussion. I'll close the force, right?
Yeah.
I'll buy all the damn shares at 450 because I'm not going to leave the fours open, the cash secured puts, and then be on the hook to go buy those too if it goes back south, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, half the portfolio is a Nio. Not doing that.
Yeah.
But right now it's at $4, so we're okay, And then SOXL got an agreement to sell them at 23. We're okay. They're at 1769. And then I'm also, the reason that I wanted to sell the calls was because I do feel like assignment is imminent. Like the 450s is going to happen on Nio. The fours, I don't think they will happen, but they could happen.
Yeah.
And then we got 15s, 16s, and 17s on SOXL. It's at 1765. So I'm like, I feel like I'm going to get assigned at least the 17s, maybe even the 16s. So let's start bringing some more money through the door. That way I can continue to be able to sell aggressive cover calls on the other side of things.
Yeah, because the premiums are crazy good on those, bro.
Yeah, but these are the levels, bro. Like these are the levels that I feel like there's literally a $1 million bill for me to be had with our bankroll on SOXL.
Yeah, 100%.
I think I'm gonna make $1 million on SOXL, but at some point I'm also gonna have to be willing to take ownership of shares temporarily, because if I got 60,000 soldiers helping me, every dollar $60,000, right?
Yeah.
So you get $3 or $4 of capital appreciation. It goes a long way.
100%.
So that's the thing, So I'm gonna pick my spots. I did the whole thing yesterday where I don't want to own shares and stuff, but I'm gonna pick my spots to do a lot of swing trading within these positions that I'm in. But I gotta get running, man. I gotta get running. I'm already late to a FaceTime. TJ, the Wheel Deal, signing off as always. May your sky stay blue, stock screen. Peace out.
I appreciate you, TJ. Thanks for having me, bro.
Take care, bud. Bye-bye.